So my one take on this whole latest inflammation of racial tension is that clearly we are all different people from different experiences, different backgrounds, and therefore we form different opinions. So we're not always going to agree. But me, my personal place in this, my personal stake, is to educate people who would otherwise think that this is just something that people of color are deserving of. Yeah, if you're holding a gun, anybody should comply and, listen to what's going on. But let's not overlook this and act like it is every, in this case, black male holding a gun and defying orders, and therefore has pushed the officers into a point where they feel that deadly force is necessary and justified. That's not what's happening in a lot of cases, and it's not what's been happening over history. Let's understand that. My place is to educate from a first point of view. If you don't understand, that's fine. But please, do not act like somehow this is justified. It's not. It's not justified for any human being. But since this has recently happened in the news with black males, it's happening with whites and Hispanics and everything else. But let's be honest, that the two main, people in this are, it's black and white. So it's happening everywhere. It's happening to everyone, but it makes the news because it's happening to black males. I've been pulled over. I've had guns in my face, and I was doing nothing. Nothing wrong. Nothing that justified that, and I don't take it as a reason to overly extend myself with hatred towards cops or white people or anything else. None of that. If you know me, then you know this to be true. And by that standard, if you trust my word, if you like the other posts that I put out and you say that I'm inspiring and you tell me that, you love what I say and love what I do, then you better love this too. Because it's happening for real. And it's happening to a lot of people who don't deserve it to happen. Do these people have criminal backgrounds and things like that? Sure. But it still does not justify being essentially executed in the streets. And if I were to put a twist to this, I understand that a lot of you cannot wrap your heads around this because your whole life has not been in the shoes of those who are profiled. I get it. And this is why I say education is important. This is why I'm talking. Otherwise, I wouldn't be saying anything. If we were to put this in a context that we could maybe, shift over, this would be like me as a male. I cannot understand what females go through on a daily basis when it comes to being, hit on all the way up to raped. And this is why men often have a dim view of victims' rights when it comes to rape. Because we don't wrap our minds around having somebody basically control our bodies and take something from us we were not willing to give. And that's the same thing when it comes to what a lot of people often go through when it comes to having their rights violated on the side of the road at any hour at night with 3 cops and guns in their faces, and they're pulling in more cops for no apparent reason. And to dismissively, I saw a post, and I've seen a few that just basically allude to, well, that's what you get. Well, we wouldn't say that again in the case of rape. What if the girl was drunk? Does she deserve to be raped? And having prior infractions with the law, that's the same premise that we say in rape cases. Well, it doesn't matter how many people she slept with in her lifetime. She still didn't deserve to be raped. So whatever you've done in your past does not justify what somebody does to you in the realm of violating your human rights, or your civil rights for that matter. We got to educate each other. And it doesn't mean educate each other in the way of my opinion is stronger than yours, so it has to be a fact. We need to educate each other with real life, real talk, and real experiences. I'm giving you real experiences. I can tell you countless times that I've been pulled over for nothing. Wasn't speeding. They wouldn't give me a reason. And you know people who are good people. You know people who are not criminals, and it could happen to them. I know Muslims, and for God's sake, I do not want to see them shot, accosted, or whatever just because there's a few extremists. I don't want to see Christians labeled as Klan members or Catholics labeled as pedophiles simply because the actions of a few. So don't allow what the media has brainwashed us into separation. The media has told you that black males, in the most part, are good for entertainment and athletics and not much more. That we don't take care of our kids. We don't do this and that. And in turn, the media has told us that white men over a certain age are very racist. And are there some? Of course. There's some bad in every demographic. But you have to look past it. Look at the people you know and say, you know what? This might happen to somebody I know. I'm not with that. I'm not for that. I don't stand for that. I look at the countless sisters that I have out there, and I would say I do not want to see them raped. I pass on information. I pass on knowledge that can prevent that from happening. I listen to their experiences, and I manifest that into a better way of preventing things to happen to them. Do the same. We're not out here just running around blasting music and, trying to cause trouble. There's a lot of good law-abiding citizens that, in the long run, when good citizens are taken from society, we all suffer. I've gone on long enough. I hope that this hits you in a place that is of common sense and empathy for the next human being, for the following generations. Peace, love, unity, solidarity. And last note, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Don't go tearing up your cities. Don't go shooting at people who don't deserve it. Don't take it out on others who have little to nothing to do with the actions of some others. You have to judge everybody on a case-by-case basis. If you truly want to make change, then make change. Get out in the streets. Get out into your legislations. Write letters. But simply just posting semi-inflammatory rebuttals is not going to get us anywhere. Social media is a wonderful technology tool, but it's also somewhat the death of really getting down and rolling up your sleeves and using some elbow grease. Again, you guys have a great day and be safe out there. All of you.